Hi guys! Today's episode will be very special because for the first time in the history of the Electronic Corner, we're going to have a female solo project. Of course, it would not be the first lady that I host because we already had Crystal Ann from Paradox Obscure, but that was a duo, and this time is really just a female solo project. And so I hope more ladies in future will follow the example of today's guest and will accept my invitation. So now let's go immediately to meet Ultra. Hi Lena, good to see you. Thanks for accepting my invitation. As I said in the presentation, this is the first time after almost 20 episodes that I can host a solo female project, so I'm really happy about that. It was not done on purpose, it's just for some reason ladies reject me. So I hope that you will set an example, for the future, and more female solo projects will be here. So how are you today?
I'm good, thank you, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
That's great. So let's start immediately. Okay, it's actually kind of a sad question, but I think it's important to ask it, and then I will explain why. Now, it's not a secret the reason why you started the project Ultra, because you talk about it extensively in your on your website, and I must say I was really moved when I read your description of why and how the project Ultra was formed, and that is as a consequence of the unexpected loss of your brother. So can you please tell us more about the healing power of music? In this case, I would dare to say percussive music especially, and how music helped you specifically to overcome this tragic loss. And I'm asking because I think it could really be an inspiration, for other people who maybe unfortunately recently had such a tragic loss.
Mm. It was in 2019. I found myself lost in mourning about my brother's death in 2016. And somehow the noises I created during that hours, like playing the deep sound with the cello, made the grief come in a way out of my body. It became something tangible. This process let me focus on creation instead of deep mourning. It's not an overcome, but it could somehow channel the pain to something constructive.
Okay, that makes sense. And how about nowadays? I mean, do you still need to enter in a specific state of mind to make a song so that you can have an idea, or by now you like it's enough that you start to play around maybe with your tools, your computer, until something interesting comes out, and then you develop a song?
Yeah, now music production for me became just another tool for me to be creative. As a designer, I have different tools to work with. And whatever mood I have, I can implement it in the music. Right now, for example, I'm working on new songs, and they're highly inspired by my 10-month-old baby girl for one song. For example, I sampled my daughter's rattle and created a whole song around it.
Wow. Looking forward to hear that one then.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Now, is balancing the gloomy and dark atmosphere of your music with the danceable and rhythmic elements a challenge for you, or is it something that just comes natural?
Yeah, actually, this comes just natural already from the beginning. It was like that. And in general, I like to work more intuitive and not too technical or with a big concept around it,
You follow your instinct, basically.
Yes.
Now, how did your collaboration with Stahlschlag start, and how did you put together the song Doomed?
Yes, Stahlschlag was during the time looking for musicians to collaborate with. And I already did a remix before for him. And Sebastian from Stahlschlag sent me the stems he had so far, and I added my sounds and a voice to it. We both, we liked this result so much that we were starting to brainstorm a little bit about a video. And in general, I like to also do videos, even though it's a lot of editing work, but it's always fun. So luckily, we live less than 2 hours away from each other, so we were able to easily meet up and shoot the video. And we are now also thinking about performing the song together live in March. And there you can just follow our social media. At some point, we will announce it.
That's great. So you edit your videos yourself, right?
Yes, I'm doing everything, shooting it, editing it. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's very cool. Now, let's talk about another specific song, Blanc Noir. At least in the Carol of the Bells version, it sees the introduction of a melodic element, which is kind of unusual, let's say, for you, because as we said, you're mostly like a rhythm driven, your songs, heavy beats. But I'm totally fascinated by this version, so I would like to know a bit more. Like, for example, which tempo is it in? Because you seem to introduce those bells almost randomly, but of course it's not random. I guess there must be a logic behind it, so I'm curious
Yes.
about it. And how did you get the idea of adding bells in that specific song?
Yeah, so this is an exception actually. There I had a concept around it. So I took my song Blanc Noir. This is the first song I've ever created for Ultra. And this version is a reminiscence to the Christmas song Carol of the Bells. And it comes in 126 BPM. And for me, it seemed just natural to add bells to it, as it fits to a Christmas song in general, and also to this specific carol. And I must say, I would also have loved to add a children's choir, but actually, I didn't get the permission for it. So it's the bells.
Oh yeah, well that's enough. And how did you introduce them? How did you decide the timing for the bells?
Oh, this is
If you remember.
a bit difficult to explain. So when I have this project open, then I'm listening to it, and somehow I just feel there should be this bell, and at that point it should be maybe also a bit more deconstructed, and it's
Okay. So
somehow.
again, you follow your instinct more than just a concept. I mean, initially it was a concept, but then eventually to put all the things together,
Yes,
you reversed back following your instinct. Can we say
yes,
something like that?
yeah.
Oh,
Somehow it's always going back to that.
that's cool. That's great. I really like it when artists give the possibility to their fans to remix their tracks, and you're one of them. So please tell us more about the remix compilation that you're planning to release in future. So is it still open, for example? Are people still allowed now to to give a contribution?
Yes, I just set the deadline to the 30th of December, so there's still a little bit of time. And the plan was formed in my head for quite some time. I have also participated in some remix compilations. And for me, it's an honor and also fun to remix other artists' music and adding my own character to it without losing the character's idea, you know. And after releasing my second album, Zwei, I decided it was time maybe for doing this call for remixes. It's a very special experience for me to see others' creativity around my music. And I already received a lot of beautiful remixes, I can tell. And I'm looking forward to releasing the compilation at the beginning of the year.
So what should people do in order to, give their contribution?
They can just write me a message via Instagram or email or Facebook, and they can decide about the song they want to remix, or I'm deciding for them. That's also a possibility. And then I'm sending the stems to them, and then they can play around.
Okay, great. So, yeah, since there's still time, people take advantage of that. Now, yeah, I know you already have many, so probably you would not really need more, but you never know, something special may still come out. So,
Always open to it.
Exactly. Now, I know you make music with a computer, a microphone, and a MIDI keyboard, so you have quite a basic setup, but that's great. So which DAW are you using? Which synths, effects, plugins, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, exactly. In general, I prefer simple equipment, as you said, and I started with GarageBand during the time, as it is not as complicated to get a nice output. And during that time, I just needed to have an outcome out of this. And for me, it was just obvious to continue with Logic Pro. And later, I will give you also a little insight into how I work with it. And the program itself, it has an overwhelming range of plugins and synths. And yeah, for me, it's just playing with various until I get the sound I like.
I see. That's good. Let's talk about your live activity now. I know that you will play in Reykjavik next year, so in Iceland, and on the 27th of January, to be more precise. Now I'm curious, how did that opportunity come up, and how do you recreate your songs when you play live? So it's two questions, actually.
Yes. I was chatting with an artist colleague and about our projects and ideas, and it turned out that we both have a special connection to Iceland. He's connected through a music scene there, and I'm connected to it through my brother. And Colin came up with the idea to give a concert together. And for me, it's a very special opportunity. Because of my brother. So after my brother's death, we traveled to Iceland and scattered his ashes there. And years later, I played the song I made for him during that mourning phase in that place. So I think I will also perform this live in Reykjavik in January. And yeah, in general, when I play live, I have my songs prepared and manipulate them during the show. And I add my voice, which is processed by pedals. I have a echo and fuzz for it, and then I have a special track as additional sound. And this is running through my send delay synthesizer, and this also acts, like a bridge between the songs.
I see. Now, I guess there will be a video recording of the performance in Reykjavik, right?
Yes, I hope so.
Okay, that's great. We're looking forward to that.
Yes.
Now, we have already reached the what I call studio demonstration question, and obviously it will be something related to Logic, since that's what you're using, and so I'm really curious to see what you have prepared for us. Let's watch it together now.
Here I'm going to show you briefly how I'm working with Logic Pro in terms of manipulating tracks. And here I have the project Strax open, a song from my latest album. And on the left you see the different tracks I'm using. Let's first of all listen a little bit in the beginning.
Trommel. Glockenspiel. Cello.
And neither the drums nor the glockenspiel is manipulated in this area, but let's go to this area and listen. And here you can hear the effect on it. So it's manipulated, it's distorted. And to compare it in a better way, I just copied this track to the not manipulated version. Let's listen. And to compare. I think this is giving a good impression on how different it sounds. And this track here, for that I just used another compressor. So, and for example, this is really high. Let's listen to it. And if I go down with this, it's getting more or less the normal drums again. And the higher I'm going, higher the distortion is. And I have another example. It's over here. Let's listen to the manipulated Glockenspiel. There you could also hear the noises in the background. Let's inspect this. First of all, we're going to compare it again. So without manipulation and again with the manipulation. So here I used another compressor for it. Let's also go to the right track. So it's another compressor I used. And for these extra noises you could hear, I used the bit crusher. So if I wouldn't use this, it's still distorted, but not as intense as if I would use this. It's adding these extra noises to it. And these are just two examples of what I'm doing with effects to create the sound I want. I use also, for example, pedals and other effects I can find over here. Yeah, for me this is just a big playground, and I'm just experiment until I get the result I like. Yes.
Thanks a lot for that. It was really interesting to see how you work in your computer and how a song is developed, let's say. It's time for the final greetings. It was really a pleasure to have you with us today, and well, good luck with the remix compilation, with new album, which I'm sure will come out sooner or later, and the performance in Reykjavik or wherever else you will go in the future. And well, take care.
Thank you. You too.